right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. And it's been a minute since I've made a news video on my channel, but this is actually really important because we're going to be going over everything we know so far about the 2026 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. There are some new leaks, and I believe the reveal is going to be happening very soon. So if you want to stay up to date with any and all news, as well as updates about Mustangs or cars in general, feel free. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and let me know down in the comment section if you guys are excited for the 2026 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Let's go ahead and read this article from Motor1.com. The original Shelby GT500 had a short 4-year lifespan from 1967 through 1970. It would take another 37 years for the nameplate to return, and its revival cemented the OG Shelby as a legend. So this is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody is excited about the Shelby GT500, especially the S650 version, because the leaks on what powertrain is going to be in this car is actually quite insane. This is going to be essentially a mock render of what the vehicle could look like. In all reality, I do like the way this looks. It's going to have the S650 front fascia, which is growing on me. Obviously, I have an S650 Mustang GT. I like the way they look, but I'm really starting to like the way they look now. The more I drive my car, the more I see other S650 Mustang GTs, the more I'm enjoying them. Just like how when the S550s released, I didn't really like them too much, but as soon as I started seeing a lot more of them, started really enjoying them, and I actually have an S550 as well. A Shelby GT350, but an S550 nonetheless. So I think this looks nice. They might do some additional tweaks, but so far, this does not look bad. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Let's go ahead and talk about essentially the powertrain that could be behind this vehicle. What's under the hood? One doesn't have a modern Shelby GT500 without a stonking V8 engine. And there's a good reason to believe this one will be special. The aforementioned leak memo mentioned production of a new engine with the internal name Legend. Whether this is actually a new engine or just a massage version of Ford's existing supercharged 5.2 liter V8 is unknown. In the previous GT500, that motor made 760 horsepower, and it made 815 horsepower for the current Mustang GT. We've heard some rumors that 1,000 horsepower could be targeted. Now, I believe the new Shelby GT500, here's some other test images of this vehicle that, you know, we're actually seeing this week, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Man, obviously, they have it taped up. They're not going to have, you know, the badging on it as of yet. But I think we could be in for a serious surprise with this new GT500. Because you have to think, man, the GTD, it's a monster. The Shelby GT500 also has to be a monster. The C8 ZR1 makes over 1,000 wheel horsepower. There's absolutely no way Ford is not going to target close to, or if not over, 1,000 wheel horsepower with the GT500. It just doesn't really make any sense. It has to make power to get people to get behind the hype train. Now, here we go. Ford does have a 1,000 horsepower engine already in its wheelhouse. The 7.3 liter supercharged Megazilla 2.0 crate engine was announced in January 2025. That's this year. It's unknown if this engine meets emission requirements for production use, but if Ford wanted to give this GT500 a proper send-off, you could do worse than dumping a massive pushrod V8 between the fenders. Look, if they put the Megazilla 2.0 in the Shelby GT500, that would be absolutely amazing, but at the same time, again, it's all about emissions. This is pure speculation on our part, but a slightly de-stroke version of this engine would display 7.0 liters, which is 428 cubic inches. The original GT500 from 1967 through 1970 came with, you guessed it, a 428 cubic V8 engine. Okay, that's actually a really, really good guess on what could happen. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. If the new GT500 had, let's say, a 7-liter supercharged V8 that made 1,000 horsepower, would you actually go for it? I think a lot of people would be up in arms and just running to the dealership to go ahead and get allocations for the new GT500, because that would be amazing in my personal opinion. That would absolutely be amazing. These renders look good. I mean, you guys cannot tell me that these new GT500 renders don't look good. I mean, this looks mean. This is something that I 110% can see myself in. I would go ahead and buy this, even if it didn't have the 7.0. Let's say, you know, it had a 5.2 with a blower on it, but, you know, stronger internals, a better supercharger, and made 1,000 horsepower or targeted 1,000 horsepower. I don't think anybody would be upset. It just would sound cooler if it had a 7.3 or a 7.0 engine. But at the same time, it just has to make power and it has to be efficient. So if it can do that with the 5.2, the W. If they can do it with the 7.0, that's a W. If they can do it with the 7.3, that's a W. As long as it makes power and it's efficient, that's all I care about. Now, this is really important. What about the chassis? Ford generally hasn't done much with the GT500 suspension tuning in the past, except for adding MagneRide. The big question is Ford going to take parts from the GTD and put it on the Shelby GT500 for the 2026 year? In my personal opinion, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to keep a lot of those suspension components on the GTD so it can retain its price tag and keep it desirable. But it would be nice, considering the fact that the new Shelby GT500 is targeted to make upwards of 1,000 horsepower. It's 100% going to need some suspension to put that power to the ground so it could be, you know, safe for owners to go ahead and drive on a daily basis if they wanted to drive it on a daily basis. So I think that they are 100% going to be doing some suspension tweaks, but at the same time, is it going to be parts from the GTD? I don't know about that. We think a comfortable middle ground is likely here. Test mules have already been spotted with old GT500 wheels, the carbon fiber wheels, I've seen that, and Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. So handling will matter for the new year. It's just a question of how close Ford wants to get it to the GTD's price tag. Now, speaking of price tags, how much is this going to cost? I think it is safe to say that it is going to be between, I'm going to say $100,000, $125,000 all said and done. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. In all reality, 1,000 plus horsepower for $100,000 to $125,000 isn't too bad, because you are getting a lot of car for the money. This is a car that you could essentially leave 100% stock and just put on different wheels and tires and be good to go. So if it was $100,000, $125K, that wouldn't be too outrageous in my personal opinion. And I'm telling this right now, this will be competitive against the C8 ZR1, just for the fact that it does make similar horsepower, or it should make similar horsepower. So if you are a Ford fan, instead of going ahead and buying a 1,000 horsepower Chevy, you go ahead and get yourself a 1,000 horsepower Ford from factory. I think they definitely need to think about the pricing so it is competitive, so buyers have an option and can quite literally just choose brand loyalty and get the same horsepower. That would be a massive W in my personal opinion. When will it arrive? The leak memo mentioned adding more production shifts later in 2025 for the 2026 Shelby GT500. So we can see this car debut before the end of this year. Oh man, it is going to be crazy. I am really, really excited. It's about that time, y'all, for the Shelby GT500 to be revealed. And I think I think it's going to be an absolute monster. So if you guys are excited, let me know down in the comment section right now. And if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.